Said many times, Z. Graham possesses such clarity on the issue of dealing with terrorism, terrorists, fighting ISIS, and he is on record as saying that this man suspected of the bombing yesterday in New York should be treated as an enemy combatant. It's been a while since we've had a chance to visit with U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. Let's welcome back on our guest line, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, it's been a while. Welcome back. Merry Christmas, sir.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Mike, and to all the friends up there in New York. We're thinking about you.
Well, and you know, it was just released a moment ago as I was getting ready to talk to you that the authorities have revealed that the man suspected of this terror incident wrote a message to President Trump hours before the attack on Facebook. His message said, "Trump, you failed to protect your nation." Thankfully, law enforcement, they went in, got this guy after this bomb detonated. Thankfully, thank God, it didn't fully detonate. We would have had many casualties. Your position is very clear. This guy isn't an ordinary garden variety thug. This guy's an enemy combatant to the United States of America.
Yeah, he is. And here's my goal with people like him is it's hard to catch one of these crazy guys alive. And when you do, you need to find out everything about them possible. They should not be held as a common criminal. The last thing I want this guy to hear is you have a right to remain silent. He is a soldier of the caliphate. He pledged allegiance to ISIL. I want our military and intelligence community to have custody of him as long as it takes to find out what he did, who he knows. He may be a lone wolf. I want to know what he did in Bangladesh. I don't want to throw him into the criminal justice system. He's not a common criminal. He's an enemy combatant under the law of war. He doesn't have to go to the Gitmo. He doesn't have to be tried in military commission, but he should be held initially for intelligence gathering purposes as an enemy combatant.
You know, it distresses me that there are many Americans who don't seem to take this attack in the homeland as seriously as well, frankly, you do, and many of us do. This was another terror attack. I was even astounded that the mayor yesterday of New York referred to it as an attempted terror attack. No, you blow up a pipe bomb in a crowded bus terminal with a lot of people around you. That's a terror attack. This is an attempt to inflict terror in the homeland, and yet I'm not sure with Alabama today and all the political, headlines and all the machinations, I'm not sure Americans even recognize the seriousness of what took place yesterday, Senator.
Well, this is why I come do your show and any other show that will have me. I'm trying to remind people that we're at war. The enemy is radical Islam. ISIL and other Al-Qaeda type affiliates want to basically suppress their own religion, destroy the state of Israel, and change our way of life and come after us. So we're at war. So what I'm trying to tell the Trump administration, I really appreciate the president taking the gloves off when it comes to fighting ISIL, rebuilding the military, giving commanders decisions, the ability to make decisions in the field, not micromanaging the war from the White House. But when it comes to gathering intelligence and detention policy, I'm hoping the Trump administration will make a clean break from Obama. We captured Osama bin Laden's son-in-law, Mike, and the Obama administration sent him into federal court after 2 or 3 days. If I were president, we would have held Osama bin Laden's son-in-law for a very long time to figure out what he knew about Al-Qaeda and what we could learn from him. And you can't do that when you read somebody their Miranda rights and give them a lawyer in the criminal justice system.
I had a guest the other day who told me that the president's decision to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel was one of the boldest, bravest decisions that a president has made in many, many years. In fact, other presidents have promised to do the same thing, and they didn't do it, Senator Graham.
Well, I'm going to meet with the Palestinians here later in the day and talk about going forward. I support the decision by President Trump to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, because it is. For 3,000 years, it's been the capital of Israel. That's just the facts on the ground. That's not inconsistent with doing other things for the Palestinians, but I want to applaud President Trump for doing what others should have done, recognizing Jerusalem as capital of Israel, having Israel's back, trying to get a better deal with Iran before it's too late, taking on this crazy guy in North Korea before he can hit the homeland with a nuclear-tipped missile, taking the fight to ISIL, rebuilding the military, trying to be a better friend to our allies and a more worthy opponent. So I played golf with the president yet again. I think he is going to have a phenomenal first year if we can find a way to secure our border and deal with these DACA kids. But on foreign policy, he's got the best team around him I've seen. I hope the Department of Justice will break from the Trump administration's view of terrorism and start treating guys like this guy in New York as an enemy combatant under the law of war so we can gather intelligence.
Let's talk domestic policy and politics for a moment. I can't let you go today without acknowledging today's big Senate race in Alabama. You differ with the president and his support for Roy Moore. I've been saying all along that at least there is a process that the Alabama voters have in their hands today. They're going to make this decision, and I think I speak for most Americans when I say I'll be glad when this thing is all over. There's not a lot of upside, out of Alabama for the Republicans or the Democrats, is there?
No, I can't really say it any better. You know, they're going to vote, and if he wins, he'll get seated, and the ethics committee will look at the allegations, and we'll, as senators, determine what's best for the body and the future of the country. From the party's point of view, let's just kind of take a look back. We have got a chance to deliver in ways that just are pretty astonishing. I think Trump can fix the broken immigration system, something Bush and Obama couldn't do. He's right about wanting to stop chain migration. I think a green card should be limited to minor children and spouses, not to the entire family structure. We should take green cards and have a merit-based immigration system where people come into our country that can provide economic value to the United States like most other countries do.
I mean, let's face it, Senator. In many ways, yesterday's attack sort of brought the election of Trump full circle because a lot of people said that's why they voted for him, because he wants to fix the immigration system.
Since 2006, I've been trying to go from a family-based immigration system where 70% of the green cards are given to family members to a merit-based immigration system like Canada and Australia and other Western nations, to make it an economic decision for the country about who comes here. We'll vet people. So we're going to have a chance here to break chain migration. He's going to get his border security bill passed because he's right to want to do so. And I think you'll have a practical view toward these DACA kids, the ones who are non-criminals who've been here all their life, basically no other place to go. I think the president's going to find a place for them to stay in the country. So I'm pretty optimistic that next year we need to do infrastructure, repair roads and bridges that are falling apart, and rebuild our military. I think we could have a heck of a year next year, replace Obamacare with a block grant. So, you know, Roy Moore is a kind of a downer moment for everybody, the whole Alabama race, but I'm not going to let that define my view of where we can go as a party. We'll deal with Mr. Moore if he comes up here. The bottom line is 2018 and 2017 could be really fruitful years for the country and eventually for the party.
You know, all I know is the sun's going to come up tomorrow no matter what the Alabama voters decide. And I'm grateful that you could take you're in the middle of all of it right now, Senator Graham, and it's been too long, so I'm glad we could catch up today. Hope you and your family have a Merry, Merry Christmas, and thanks for spending some time, sir.
Thanks, Mike. Be safe.
You too. Senator Lindsey Graham joining us here.